All right, today we're going to tackle an invention that's so fundamental we kind of just take it for granted. But let me tell you, the story of the wheel is absolutely packed with surprises, and I'm betting it's not what you think.
You know, if I asked you, what's humanity's most important invention? You might say the internet, right? Or maybe the printing press, or I don't know, harnessing fire. All great answers. But there's one super simple, elegant solution that probably pops into most people's heads first.
And there it is, the wheel. It just seems so basic, doesn't it? A perfect circle of genius. I mean, we see it literally everywhere, from the tires on our cars to the tiniest little gears inside our watches. So, how did this one simple shape completely change the world?
Okay, let's really get into it, because the real story here isn't some lone inventor having a eureka moment. No way! It's actually this incredible tale of mystery, of people inventing the same thing at the same time, and a ripple effect that just completely altered the course of human history.
So first things first, we've got to bust a major myth. That classic story of the wheel being invented by one person, one single genius in Mesopotamia? Yeah, that's probably not how it happened. The real story is way more complex and, honestly, a lot more interesting.
Just look at this timeline. It tells such a cool story. Check out the dates and the places. We've got the oldest actual wheel ever found, over in Slovenia. Then you've got evidence of wheeled vehicles in Mesopotamia. And then way over in China, ancient wheel ruts. What does this tell us? It pretty much screams that the wheel wasn't invented just once. It looks like it was invented multiple times in different places all across thousands of miles.
So what this means is that the experts have totally shifted their thinking. That old traditional theory, the one where it all started with a potter's wheel in Mesopotamia, it's pretty much been replaced by this modern idea of, well, multiple simultaneous innovations. It's like humanity was just ready for the wheel. You've got farming expanding everywhere, creating the exact same problem. How do we move all this heavy stuff around? And the wheel was the answer that just sparked into existence in a bunch of places all at once.
And this is so important, because it shows you that technology doesn't just appear fully formed. The wheel wasn't a one-and-done invention. It had to evolve. You start with these heavy, clunky, solid discs. Then, okay, a little upgrade. They add rims to make them last longer. But then comes the real game changer, the spoked wheel. This was a revolution. It made everything lighter, faster, and totally transformed what the wheel could do.
All right, so now that we know how it was made, let's talk about what it was for. How did this evolving technology become like the first killer app for humanity? Well, it helped us solve some of our biggest problems in transportation, in war, and even in how we saw the world. Okay, the most obvious one, right? Transport. The wheel solved that ancient back-breaking problem of how to move heavy stuff over long distances. It was a complete revolution in logistics. And this newfound mobility, it didn't just move stuff, it moved whole economies. Suddenly farmers could be way more productive. Trade networks, like the early versions of the Silk Road, started to expand and connect cultures that had never met. And this also led to some really cool, unique inventions, like the Chinese single-wheeled wheelbarrow. I mean, what a brilliant design for narrow little paths. It was so effective, one person could move their entire year's supply of grain with it.
But of course, whenever a new technology makes it easier to trade and build things, it also creates new ways to fight. It's almost inevitable, right? This powerful new tool was quickly adapted for the battlefield, and it completely changed the nature of war.
I love this quote from the famous historian Sima Qian, because it just shows you the insane scale of chariot warfare. We're talking thousands of them. That lightweight spoked wheel we mentioned earlier, it made the war chariot a super-fast mobile weapons platform. It wasn't just a vehicle, it was a status symbol, a projection of power that absolutely dominated battlefields for hundreds of years.
So, it changed the physical world, sure, but the wheel's influence went even deeper. Its perfect circular shape, that endless motion, it became this powerful symbol for people trying to understand the universe, the gods, the very nature of existence.
So in Hinduism, you have the chakra. It's a divine weapon of the god Vishnu, and it represents cosmic order and protection. And then in Buddhism, you have the Dharma chakra, the wheel of law, which is one of the most important symbols in the entire faith. Its 8 spokes, they represent the Noble Eightfold Path, and the turning of that wheel symbolizes the Buddhist teachings spreading out into the world. So the wheel's impact didn't just stop there, with carts and chariots and religious symbols. Not even close. It kicked off this massive chain reaction, a cascade of technological and social change that truly, fundamentally reshaped the world.
And to really get a handle on its true impact, we've got to talk about a concept called technological synergy. It sounds complicated, but it's a simple idea.
One invention doesn't just exist on its own, in a vacuum. It actually pulls other technologies forward, right along with it. And this is a perfect example of that synergy in action. Think about it. Carts and chariots are pretty useless if you're just bumping over rough terrain, right? So the wheel immediately created a need for something else, better roads. And once you have those new road networks, they become like the arteries for growing cities, pumping life into trade and helping empires expand.
You see, the wheel wasn't just a tool, it was a catalyst, a spark. It forced metalworking to get better so we could make stronger wheel parts. The basic idea of rotary motion, that's the granddaddy of every single gear and pulley in every complex machine we have today. It literally helped create new social classes, and it supercharged the exchange of ideas and culture along those new trade routes. I mean, just think about it. From those ancient, clunky wooden wagons to the complex gears spinning inside a modern jet engine. The legacy of this simple circle is absolutely everywhere you look. Which kind of leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? What's going to be the wheel of the next millennium? What future invention will have that same kind of profound, lasting, world-changing ripple effect?